From exodus to infighting to their many failed attempts at reunification emerged the Kingdom of Migora. Situated to the east of the Silent River and through rapid expansion and oaths of fealty, the Migorans lay claim to roughly the entire east of Osgara, an accomplishment attributed to the man that led them from their fractured state as Ralms and united them under his crown as High King of Migora. A feat in and of itself, as the Migorans are not the easiest people to govern. Once, they forged a living west of the river, as part of an early Hidarian empire. Their fierce desire for freedom was stoked by one called Migora, and aggravated further due to mistreatment from pure-blooded Hidarians. She led them to an irreversible exodus east, from which Osgara has yet to heal, as it engulfed the world into its longest-running war. But such are the Migorans, their desire for freedom and self-governance was mighty, enough that they would immediately fracture into groups called Ralms, a collection of Migoran folds, led by one of their kind. It would take the threat of Hidaria to reunite the Migorans briefly under one they called the Archron, and it was only to organize their defenses against Hidaria. Such indeed are the Migorans, capable of great feats when great demands are made of them. In the absence of such demand, however, they fall back into their unruly ways. This can be seen in many facets of life in Migora, not just politics. When they first arrived east, they built their capital city, Tunhill, and to this day it remains a marvel of engineering, a bastion of a city, unassailable save perhaps if all the other four great realms turn to its ruination, and it pales in comparison to the real wonder of ingenuity offered to Osgara by the Migorans. The mountain tunnel which took generations of builders to fully realize, connecting the northern provinces of Migora with its capital and the rest of the kingdom, running beneath the Migoran peaks. 2 archrealms for 2 achievements, but Alon was not just an archrealm. For the first time, the Migorans had a High King. One that has turned them from tribes fighting over provinces into a kingdom worthy of his name, all while respecting their roots and ancestral heritage. Though this process of feudalization was not without its own set of troubles. With the looming threat of lasting unity in Migora, the Hidarians became desperate to undo what Alon had been carefully putting together, and so the High King turned to forging new alliances, with Motra, and by pure happenstance, with a clan of giants in the south called Vara. These alliances dissuaded any direct assault from Hidaria, leaving their gears of war to turn slowly, giving the Migorans time to reorganize their military and tend to their economy. These new alliances also brought with them an influx of trade, so much so that the first trade network along the eastern coast was properly established, and a rudimentary fleet was built to guard it. Though by far and away the prime leader in Migora's economy was their famous golden weave, extracted from a flower in Arlion's orchard and intricately woven to give clothes a luster unrivaled by any other pigment in existence. Such is the state of Migora. She commands a loose grip in the far north, an iron hold over the lands directly north and south of the Migoran peaks. She has recently fully vassalized Motra, and she commands the entirety of the eastern coast. Not even the Emperor of Hidaria could ever boast command over such vast swathes of land, though the future is not so clear for the Migorans. Age diminishes many things, rulers prime amongst. The once bold, quick-witted and fierce High King has quietly let others tend to his matters. Stability laced with luxury and paired with his injury meant he no longer had the thirst for expansion he once had. And even though the Migorans had beaten back Hidaria's every effort to break them, the Hidarian Empire does not remain idle for long. A mustering has been quietly taking place in Hidaria. Whispers of vengeance for humiliating defeats will soon turn to battle cries, and then will Migora truly be tested once again, though to what end is anyone's guess. When faced with such challenges, the Migorans have proven to be capable, but their every victory against Hidaria has been Pyrrhic in nature. Their losses have piled up, and their leaders are not as sharp as they once were. The vanity of nobility has mellowed what were once fierce warriors, and all that stands between Tunhill and a red wave of Hidarians is one Lady of War and her son. Can Lady Mithra and her Sapphire Guard keep Alon's Migora alive? Or would the Hidarians break yet another attempt at unity, on a more permanent level this time as well? These are questions for the pages of history. But as it stands, Migora's golden banners decorate the halls of many lords, and her golden flower flutters upon flags adorning many battlements. She is strong, but she stands at a perilous cost.